I feel very strongly that we've gotten a tremendous return from the overall space effort, much beyond what we've spent, and this is just the beginning. We're in the Model T era of space, and there are many other things: navigation satellites, more sophisticated communication satellite, educational programs through satellite.
But the things you mentioned really related to technology, and of course one of the arguments against the massive spending in the space program is that in the opinion of some people, this money does not particularly help to solve the problems, the social problems here on Earth.
You can't just single out one thing and say, well, if we spent that money on something else, we'd be better off. As a matter of fact, one of our major problems really is organization and management as it relates to our social needs and our urban decay and so forth. We simply do not have an organizational or management structure within the government, from the federal level right on down to the local level, that really gets its focus right on the problem. You don't have an ability to manage things.
This balloon saved a man's life. 43-year-old Lloyd Cooey was near death from a massive coronary when a surgical team at Parkland Hospital inserted the balloon device into a leg artery, through his body and up next to his heart. There it acted as an additional pump to take the load off of the damaged heart. Physiologist Dr. John Watson explained how the new machine and its balloon work.
The way the balloon functions is depicted in the three panels of this diagram. In the panel on the right, the heart is shown fully contracted after it has ejected its blood into the great vessels of the body. In the diagrams also depicted the aorta, and inside is shown the balloon fully deflated. In the next panel, the heart is beginning to fill with blood, and now the balloon is beginning to inflate and is pushing blood in both directions towards back towards the heart to help perfuse the vessels, the blood vessels of the heart, and towards the head, and also towards the lower part of the body, towards the kidneys and towards the liver. The machine is shown here. The EKG signal is used to drive, the electrical signal from the heart is used to drive the balloon. And as we can see in our simulated blood vessel here, that the balloon is pushing blood towards the head and helping to assist the heart, the failing heart.
Today, Lloyd Cooey is recovering at Parkland. 10 days ago, his heartbeat was near zero. It took a team of 20 doctors and nurses to bring his heartbeat back to normal with the balloon device operation. A team member, Dr. Roger Ecker, talked about this medical breakthrough.
This patient was near death from his bad heart disease. At the time the balloon was inserted, he did not have adequate circulation to his vital organs, and immediately after insertion, and as long as the balloon assist device was kept on, we had evidence that this saved his life, that it provided vital circulation to his brain, heart, and other organs.
Is this device a permanent lifesaver?
No, this is a temporary measure to buy time so that something medically or surgically can be done to improve the patient's heart.
It seems odd to say that men's lives depend on a small balloon, but this balloon promises added time to thousands of heart patients who used to have a zero chance of recovery. Martha McIntire, Channel 8 News on the Move.
Officers received a call on a sound alarm at the Wendell Holmes School. Another element checked out. Was a one-man squad, and the other squad who originally received the call, they continued. When the two-man squad arrived who had the call, they found the school had been burglarized and the coin machines had been broken into, and they seen the suspect running from the building. They caught the suspect, and he was covered with blood, but he was not injured. They went in and searched the school and found the officer shot laying there at the side door of the school.
How long did it take the officers to find the man who'd been shot?
After they got to the scene, it didn't take them but 2 or 3 minutes to find him.
Was he still alive?
Both officers felt his pulse, and they both said they felt the pulse. So they tried to get him out the door. The door was locked on that side, and at this time the ambulance came. They took him to Parkland, and he was pronounced DOA at Parkland.
The legislature will convene here Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Governor Smith entered his news conference amid a buzz of speculation from reporters as to when or if he would call that session. But right away, he mentioned yesterday's telegram from Secretary of Transportation John Volpe. That telegram advised the governor that unless a Highway Beautification Act were passed by May 6th, Texas would lose $24 million in federal funds.
Governor of Texas, I have come to the conclusion that it will be necessary to have a special session. And I am today calling a special session of the Texas Legislature to convene at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, March the 28th, 1972, for the following reasons. First, to enact appropriate legislation to bring the state of Texas into compliance with the Federal Highway Beautification Act. And second, to enact appropriate legislation to provide for the operation and governmental financing of party primary elections in Texas. And I am at this time signing the proclamation.
The governor says he'll open the session to other subjects, such as a general appropriations bill, if the legislature wishes. If that doesn't happen, he'll have to call another session, probably, he says, in June. But the governor had no comment about rumors of possible impeachment. Phil Reynolds, Channel 8 News on the Move, at the Capitol in Austin.
Today, he advises the citizens of Texas that he's going to, and I had to hear it via a newscast, which, of course, I'm proud that the news media stays on top of it. We had no advanced knowledge. We had people who were working with us, specifically school personnel who were interested in school financing. They had been working with me. We need to do this. These are some of the solutions we think. now then, in 3 days, I've got to get back to them and try to formulate, get them down there. And so it was a it was a method in which he did it, that he didn't give anybody in advance knowledge, those at least that were directly affected.
Because Dallas is my home. I think I enjoy playing for SMU. There's a lot of opportunities here in Dallas for me also.
Well, speaking for the Dallas public, they'll be delighted to see you out in uniform as a Mustang next year. You could have turned pro. Did you have some professional offers?
Right. I had an offer with Memphis, but I turned it down also.
You feel a couple of years at SMU will make you a better professional prospect?
Yes, I think 2 more years of college basketball, and I'll be ready to compete.
That's sort of a sore point with ROTC cadets right now, because all of the academy personnel get regular commissions, and this is the last year that ROTC cadets get regular commissions. And from this factor, I think that the organization is saying the bottom man in the academy is better than any ROTC graduate, and I know that's not true.
Briefly, it will actually be ratifying and confirming and giving legislative authority to what Secretary of State Bullock has put into effect already. We'll be carrying it out and giving legislative authority for that.
So where will the money be coming from?
The money will be coming from the state funds. Once we give authority, well, of course, the governor can use the funds, which the Supreme Court said he couldn't without authority from the legislature.
The governor has said that this is one of only 2 items that will be discussed in this session and that you will be out before Easter. Do you predict this is true?
Well, I hope that we'll be out before Easter, but I don't see how it can be limited to 2 items. It's my understanding that any time appointments are made by the governor since the last legislature, that they must be confirmed by the Senate, and I feel that item will certainly come up for Senate consideration.
Also, you have a veterans tuition bill that you'd like to see passed. Would you like that to come up in this session?
Yes, I've requested the governor to either let it come up during this session or the next session, which will be called after the primary elections. It's desperately needed by our Texas veterans.
Do you expect that this will be a very stormy few days in Austin?
Yes, I think it probably will, and it's a few days that we don't know what's going to come up. It's just like a powder keg, and you don't know when it's going to explode or what is going to explode, but it's going to be interesting, and it's going to be fascinating.
bill that you introduced, people have till April 6th to register to vote. How is voter registration?
And I hope everyone will register and be good citizens by registering.
Well, I think it's an individual choice, but there are women in the ROTC presently, and there are even women Arnold Air members, which is supposedly a male organization, but I guess everything's being opened up now. They do find opportunities. They do enjoy themselves. The girls that I've talked to that are in the ROTC program find a lot of fulfillment in it.